Hey everybody, welcome back. Mike from Spectre Comics. Today I wanted to do a quick Photoshop tutorial. I've been doing a little bit of research on what people are trying to learn how to do on Photoshop, and I kept coming across a lot of different topics but related to the same thing. So this video is actually going to have several tips in it, but I kept coming across the idea of removing a background, changing a background of an image, cutting something out from background and placing it in another image. So we're going to do a kind of a combination of all those things since they all are technically related. Now I'm using Photoshop Elements 2022, but this should apply to the regular Photoshop version. The reason I use Elements is because it's much cheaper. It doesn't require a subscription. You could just buy the program straight out, and it basically allows me to do everything I needed to do that regular Photoshop was. Maybe someday I'll upgrade to the full Photoshop Creative Suite, but right now Photoshop Elements does everything I need it to do with my art, my comics, my drawing, everything. So again, everything should apply to regular Photoshop or Photoshop Elements, so we will get into it. Now we're going to start by looking at this image of my wife and I in Arizona, and we're going to basically take the background out of this. We're going to clip our I'm going to clip us out of the image, and then we're going to remove the background. So that'll be step one. And then we're going to actually take what's remaining and place it into another image so it'll have a new background. So again, it'll be multiple steps for basically achieving the same thing. So the first thing you'll notice when you open, sometimes when you open a file, that the background is locked and you can't do anything. You'll notice the lock symbol right here on the layer. So in order to unlock it, the first thing you should do is you can double click that and you can change that to layer 0, and it will automatically unlock and remove the lock from the image. If for some reason when you do that it doesn't unlock, all you have to do is go up to Image and go to Mode and make sure it's in RGB mode. If it's in bitmap, clear, or index color, if it's in index color, which sometimes a file will open that way, it will not allow you to unlock the layer. So as long as it's in RGB mode, you should be fine to do that. So the next thing I want to do to actually remove the background, we were in Arizona last December and took this picture. So we've got the nice desert behind us, but let's say I want to take us out of this image and put us in another image, or just remove the background from this image. I'm actually going to go ahead and take the polygonal marquee tool, and I'm going to go ahead and slowly clip around the image of us. Now I'm not being as accurate just because I'm trying to go quickly, but I would actually zoom in to the image and get real fine along all of the lines to kind of isolate the background. So we can go ahead and go all the way around the image with the marquee, clicking everywhere and staying as close to the image and separating the background as possible. And again, feel free to take your time when you do this, just so you can get as much as possible. Once I get to the border, I just go to the outside. I can double click to now highlight, and I'll zoom in and you can see the highlighted marquee here. If for some reason I make a mistake, like I cut into myself, or for instance, I cut into my shirt here, I can go head back to the polygonal marquee. I can select Add, and I can go and add, and it will add that section in. So now it moves the marquee line. If I wanted to if I wanted to go ahead and subtract something, I can go in with the Subtract tool and cut that out. So I'll just add that back in. But the key is to get as close to the edge of something without getting the background. So once you zoom out, now I can go ahead. Now everything that's highlighted in the marquee, which is the picture of us, is selected. What we want to do is go ahead and reverse that. Before I even do that, I should say the first thing I like to do is to duplicate the layer, just in case I make a mistake, or I want to preserve the original image. So I've gone and copied that layer. I'm going to turn that layer off, and then that's going to be just the save copied layer that doesn't get used. But I'm going to go back to the layer 0 that we're on, and I'm going to select I'm going to right click and bring up this little menu and select inverse. Now it'll select everything outside of us. So that means now the background is selected. You can see how the marquee has changed to the border of the page. And I'm going to go ahead and delete the background. Now when you see the checkerboard pattern, that means that's transparent. There's nothing there. Now if I go ahead and turn the save layer back on, it comes right back. So now I've got this image and I've taken the background out. So that's the best way to remove the image. If you go ahead and hit save, now you should save the file as a PSD file. That way it won't fill in the background. If you flatten this or if you save as a JPEG, it will fill in the checkerboard pattern with just white. So you'll have a white background then. Now if you're going for that, that's fine, but it's always good to work in a PSD file. So PSD Photoshop document file, and you can save it as that and preserve the layer system and allow you to not have anything in the background. Now what I want to do here now is I want to actually take the image of us, now that we've removed the background, and go ahead and we're going to copy this into another image. So I actually took the Spectre issue 6 cover and I removed the characters that were in the foreground here, and now I can go ahead and place us in the image. And that'll be our change background. We'll be, instead of being in the Arizona desert, we will be on the ship here that's on the cover of Spectre Comics. So I can go ahead and just move that into place. Now I've created a new layer, and now I've placed us into the Spectre cover. And as I keep this layer separate, I can turn it on and off. But I've changed the background. I've cut the background out of the original image, and I was able to remove the picture of us from the original image and put it in another image. So that is it for this video on how to remove a background using Photoshop, or change a background, or copy something to a different background using Photoshop, Photoshop Elements. If you found the video helpful, go ahead and put a thumbs up on the video. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I have more Photoshop tips coming up. Also, any drawing videos or drawing topics, I have those too. So if you're interested, go ahead and watch some of the other videos on my channel. If something wasn't clear in this video or I missed a step that you think I should have explained, go ahead and put that in the comment section below. I will respond to you. Appreciate you watching. Thank you. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.